Hi, this is Dawn with Wiseman Corner coming to you with a video about tarot. Today I'm talking a little bit about the history of tarot, and I'm also going to maybe give you some definitions of terms that you'll hear if you're getting a reading or if you're just tuning into my card of the day or even watching my reviews of decks. As far as history of tarot goes, there's not a specific timeline of evolution of tarot. They do believe that it started with a card game called Teriachi, and people started using the cards from the game for divination. And the card game itself fell out of popularity, and people still kept using the cards for the divination. Over the years, they took some of the original cards out and added new ones as they felt like they needed to be added. There's a couple of decks that kind of survived through that time frame. You do have the Visconti Tarot. You also have the Medieval Scapini and the Tarot of Marseille. There's a little bit of debate about which one of those is really the oldest. There's a couple of other decks out there that have bits and pieces that had survived. So they know there's other decks that were from those time frames, but not enough cards survived to say this is the deck. The next big innovation in tarot didn't actually happen until the early 1900s with your Rider-Waite deck. A.E. Waite outlined his deck and had an illustrator named Pamela Coleman Smith do the illustrations for it, and then the Rider Company was the one that published it, so that's why it's called Rider-Waite. There's a couple of versions of it that do have the Smith name on there, but it's most commonly known as the Rider-Waite deck. The two big things that came from that deck, originally the older decks had a little bit more of a heavier or maybe sometimes religious overtone, and they toned some of those cards down so that it had a little more of a universal appeal. The other big thing that came out of that was the suit cards, the 2, the 3, the 4, those were all given illustrations. Originally, those cards looked more like a deck of playing cards. Your 2 of coins was just 2 coins with a number 2 on it. So, not very exciting. And the Rider-Waite are the ones that put the illustrations on there. And after that, a lot of the decks that were coming out used those illustrations, you know, the artists or the creators used the Rider-Waite images for those cards. To me, I would say that that's a little bit limiting. All the cards of the deck have more than one meaning. They can also mean different things in different situations, with different clients, also with different other cards that come along. So you can't just say this card means just this one thing. So when you're saying 2 of Cups, most people are going to say, oh, that's a romantic card. That's a romantic card because the pictures are, you know, usually of a couple. But there's several other ways you can interpret love rather than just romantic love. And so it kind of limited what you were going to get when you threw that card. When you're looking at tarot now, a lot of creators are putting their own images on those cards. Still, obviously, images of love, but they're making it a little bit more universal, so that when you're throwing the cards, you're not just saying, okay, this is romance. And I think that helps readers, and it also helps clients because your situation, you know, you might get that 2 of Cups and you're not in a relationship or you're not really looking for something. So, you know, they can kind of, it gives you a little bit more of a leeway as far as what you're seeing and what you're getting. The terminology, the big thing that you're going to hear when you're getting a reading, you have your major arcana, which is the first part of the deck, the first 22 cards, including the 0 card. Those are your archetypes. Those are your big cards, the ones that are maybe some people would think are a little bit more important when they come in. It might show big changes in your life. It may show maybe the universe or some karma kind of coming in there. So you've got that. And then the rest of the deck is separated into the 4 suits. very much like the deck of playing cards. The big difference between the Minor Arcana and a deck of regular playing cards is you have 4 card cards rather than just 3. Those are the meat of the reading. You're going to see more of them because there are more of them, and they really help you get to the heart of the matter as far as what your client is going to be looking for in a reading. So those are the 2 things that you're going to hear the most of is Major and Minor Arcana. The types of decks that are out there, there's the tarot. I just talked about it. The other type of deck is an oracle deck. Oracle decks are decks that creators have put together using their own imagination. Doesn't have to necessarily have 78 cards. Not all of the cards are going to coincide with the tarot cards. It's really up to what the creator, the energy that the creator wants to put into it or what they want you to get out of it. Some are based on astrology. Some are based on pantheons like Greek or angels or, like I said, it's up to the imagination. They're really great when you want to challenge yourself a little bit. If you feel like you've mastered the tarot, then get yourself an oracle deck so you can kind of build on there. It's also good if you're reading for yourself. You can do a little bit of meditation on the different cards. You're not just jumping to, okay, well, I'm going to pull some cards for myself. You've got these 3 cards and you know what they mean. When you're pulling with an oracle deck, you kind of have to stop and really, figure out what the universe is trying to tell you. So those are the basic terms with the tarot, and that's the basic history of tarot. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Stay tuned because I am going to start doing reviews of decks, maybe talk about other forms of divination, runes and astrology and stuff like that. So kind of to keep tuned for those things. Otherwise, have a good one. If you like this video, go ahead and let me know. If there's something else you want to see me talk about, let me know there in the comments. And definitely follow me on the platforms. We've got a Facebook page, we've got our Instagram, and we do have the YouTube channel. So hopefully this was helpful for you and you have a good one.